Navratri is not just a festival, but a sacred period of devotion to Shakti, when for 9 days, the 9 forms of Goddess Durga are worshipped. Each form of the goddess has its own unique story, significance, and power. From Shailputri to Siddhidatri, this journey is not only a glimpse of the Divine Mother's manifestations, but also a source of deep inspiration and guidance for human life. Let us, this Navaratri, listen to the sacred tales of Maa Durga's 9 divine forms. The first form of Goddess Durga, worshipped during Navratri, is Maa Shailputri. The meaning of Shailputri is daughter of the mountain king Himalaya. She was first born as Sati, the daughter of King Daksha. Sati married Lord Shiva, but her father Daksha constantly insulted and disrespected Shiva. Once, Daksha organized a grand yajna, a sacrificial ritual, inviting all the gods, but intentionally excluded Lord Shiva and Sati. Sati decided to attend the yajna uninvited. There, she saw everyone being honored except Shiva, who was mocked and insulted. Unable to bear this dishonor of her husband, Sati, in deep grief and anger, immolated herself in the sacred fire of the yajna. The entire cosmos trembled at Sati's self-sacrifice. Lord Shiva, overcome with grief and fury, performed a destructive tandava, a cosmic dance. To restore balance, Sati resolved to take birth again. In her next life, she was born as Parvati, the daughter of King Himalaya. Hence she came to be known as Shailputri. Her vehicle is the bull Nandi. She carries a trident in one hand and a lotus in the other. She is the very first form of Durga to be worshipped on the first day of Navratri. On the second day, Maa Brahmacharini is worshipped. After Sati's self-sacrifice, when she was reborn as Parvati, daughter of Himalaya, she resolved to marry Lord Shiva once again. To fulfill this vow, she undertook severe penance. From a very young age, Parvati began worshipping Shiva. Over time, she observed rigorous austerities. First, she survived for thousands of years only on fruits and roots. Then, she lived only on dry leaves. Later, she gave up food and water entirely, surviving only on air. Finally, she remained in complete fasting without food and water for many years, lost in meditation of Shiva. Her body became frail and weak, but her face radiated divine brilliance. Such was her determination that even the gods, sages, and Narada himself were astonished. Pleased by her unwavering devotion and penance, Lord Shiva finally accepted her as his consort. In this ascetic form, Parvati is worshipped as Maa Brahmacharini, the goddess of devotion, perseverance, and penance. On the third day, Maa Chandraghanta is worshipped. After Parvati's severe penance, Lord Shiva accepted her as his wife. At the time of marriage, Parvati took on a magnificent and divine form, which came to be known as Chandraghanta. When Lord Shiva arrived at King Himalaya's palace for the wedding, he came with his peculiar entourage, ghosts, spirits, yogis, and ascetics in a fearsome form. Seeing this terrifying sight, Parvati's mother, Queen Maina, was filled with fear and worry. To ease her mother's heart, Parvati transformed herself into a radiant and serene form, adorning her forehead with a half-moon-shaped bell, Ghanta. This divine appearance of hers became known as Chandraghanta. This form of the goddess is fierce and warrior-like. Whenever demons trouble devotees, she manifests in this form to destroy evil. The sound of her forehead's moon bell strikes terror in demons while instilling courage and strength in her devotees. The fourth form of Goddess Durga is Maa Kushmanda. She is regarded as the creator of the universe. The word Kushmanda is formed from 3 parts: Ku, meaning a little, Ushma, warmth or energy, and Anda, cosmic egg or universe, meaning with just a little smile, her radiant energy created the entire universe. It is believed that before creation, there was only darkness everywhere. Then with her divine smile, Maa Kushmanda brought forth light, creating the sun, stars, and eventually the universe. She is thus worshipped as the first creator of existence. Maa Kushmanda resides at the core of the solar system. It is her radiance that empowers the sun and the solar system to provide energy and life. Worshipping her blesses devotees with health, long life, strength, and vitality. She removes sorrow, disease, and fear, filling life with light and energy. On the fifth day, Maa Skandamata is worshipped, the embodiment of motherhood. Once, the demon Tarakasur performed penance and received a boon from Brahma that only the son of Shiva could kill him. With this boon, he became invincible and began tormenting the gods. The gods prayed to Shiva and Parvati to unite and give birth to a savior. After their marriage, Lord Kartikeya, also called Skanda, was born. He later became the commander of the gods' army and defeated Tarakasur, restoring peace to the heavens. Since Parvati nurtured and protected her son Skanda in her lap, she became known as Skandamata, the mother of Skanda. She represents the protective, loving, and nurturing aspect of the Divine Mother. By worshipping Maa Skandamata, the devotee receives the blessings of both the mother and the child. She removes the sorrows of her devotees and grants them happiness, peace, and prosperity.
On the sixth day of Navratri, Maa Katyayani is worshipped. She is the fierce warrior form of Shakti. The demon Mahishasura had terrified the gods with his tyranny. Through severe penance, he had received a boon from Lord Brahma that no man could kill him. Empowered by this boon, he defeated the gods and became the ruler of heaven. When the gods cried out for deliverance, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, or Shiva, combined their divine energies, from which a dazzling radiance emerged. From this radiance was born goddess Katyayani. It is said that sage Katyayan had performed long austerities to please the Divine Mother. Fulfilling his devotion, the goddess was born in his hermitage. Hence, she came to be known as Katyayani. When Mahishasura's tyranny became unbearable, Maa Katyayani mounted a lion and entered the battlefield. She displayed her valor in all directions and after a fierce battle slew Mahishasura, liberating the gods from his terror. Worship of Maa Katyayani grants courage, valor, and confidence in life. It is also believed that her blessings remove obstacles in marriage for young women. On the seventh day of Navratri, Maa Kaalratri is worshipped. Though her appearance is terrifying, she is deeply compassionate and protective towards her devotees. She is regarded as the destroyer of darkness and evil forces. Once, the demons grew so powerful that all three realms, earth, heaven, and the underworld, were thrown into chaos. They tormented the gods and sages using black magic and sorcery. At that time, Maa Durga manifested a dreadful form from her wrath and divine energy. This form was Kaalratri. She had a dark complexion, disheveled hair, and 3 blazing eyes shining like fire. Flames emanated from her breath. She wore a garland around her neck and rode a donkey. When she entered the battlefield, her terrifying form struck fear into the hearts of demons. With her fierce power, she destroyed countless demons and evil forces. It is said that whichever demon she pursued would be consumed by her radiant energy. Despite her terrifying appearance, Maa Kaalratri is also known as Shubhkari, the bringer of auspiciousness, because her frightening form is only for the wicked, while she is always benevolent and protective of her devotees. By worshipping Maa Kaalratri, fear of enemies vanishes. Evil forces, spirits, and black magic cannot touch the devotee. Her blessings bestow courage, fearlessness, and inner strength. On the 8th day of Navratri, Maa Mahagauri is worshipped. This form is extremely calm, gentle, and serene. Her complexion is as white as snow. Her garments are also white, and she rides a bull. This form of the mother is regarded as the most peaceful and auspicious of Navratri. It is said that Maa Parvati performed severe penance in the caves of the Himalayas to obtain Lord Shiva as her husband. For thousands of years, she endured the blazing sun, heavy rains, and freezing snow while fasting and meditating. Due to this intense austerity, her body became dark and covered with dust, leaves, and soil. The gods, moved by her penance, prayed to Lord Shiva to fulfill her devotion. Shiva appeared before her, accepted her as his consort, and blessed her. Then with the holy water of the Ganga, Shiva bathed Parvati. Instantly, her body radiated with golden brilliance and her complexion became dazzling white. From that moment, she became known as Mahagauri. Maa Mahagauri's form is considered extremely auspicious and benevolent. Those who worship her wholeheartedly are freed from their sins and peace and prosperity enter their lives. It is also believed that her blessings remove obstacles in marriage and bring harmony and wealth into the home. On the 9th day of Navratri, Maa Siddhidatri is worshipped. She is the final and most complete form of Durga. The goddess bestows all kinds of siddhis upon her devotees and yogis. Hence, she is called Siddhidatri, the giver of siddhis. According to the Durga Saptashati and the Purans, when creation began, Lord Shiva himself worshipped the goddess, desiring to attain all siddhis so that he could carry out the welfare of the universe. Pleased with his devotion, Maa Durga granted him the 8 siddhis: Anima, the power to become microscopic; Mahima, the power to become vast and infinite; Garima, the power to become immensely heavy; Laghima, the power to become extremely light; Prapti, the ability to obtain anything; Prakamya, the power to fulfill desires; Ishtitva, the power of supreme authority; Vashitva, the power to control all beings. With these siddhis, Lord Shiva manifested in the form of Ardhanarishwara, where one half of his body is male and the other half embodies the goddess. This symbolized that all power originates from the Divine Mother. By worshipping Maa Siddhidatri, devotees not only progress spiritually but also attain material prosperity and liberation, or moksha. She fulfills all desires and bestows divine wisdom. Thus, during the 9 days of Navratri, the 9 forms of Maa Durga are worshipped. Each form conveys a profound message for human life: patience, devotion, strength, creation, motherhood, courage, destruction, peace, and spiritual perfection. If we embrace these 9 qualities in our lives, surely our journey will be filled with happiness, prosperity, and divinity. May Maa Durga's grace always remain upon you. Jai Mata Di. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support inspires us to bring more such divine stories to you.